I didn't see a whole bunch of dicks come flying out. So I don't know, guys. These Suzuki haters, you got some explaining to do, because you know, when I got on the throttle, I didn't feel any dildos come up out of the seat, or you know, I didn't see any dicks come flying out the exhaust in the rearview mirror or anything. So that is, man, it sounds so nice.
When I'm number one, I'ma take it to the top. This life is too much fun, I ain't never gonna stop. They don't wanna see me run, they just wanna see me flop. But it's gonna be a different story when they hear me drop. I wanna be number.
What's going on, guys? Right here. We are going to be doing a first ride on this a Suzuki, what is it?
GSX-S 750.
GSX-S 750. I don't know anything about this bike other than it's fast and loud. So we're gonna go have some fun, and I'm gonna talk about the buying experience with this bike, right? We're going to talk a little bit about the buying experience we had at this dealer, and some of the features on this bike that are pretty cool. So let's go. All right, so it's in neutral. That's a cool little display. Whoa. So, all right, I'm going to go over a couple things while we're right here. All right, so Mark, when he showed me the picture of this bike, I really loved the red because it reminded me of the R3 that I had. So I really dig the red on this. But there is a white and blue one of this style that is absolutely beautiful, just gorgeous. So it's got, what do we got? Twin or dual brakes in the front. He added this windscreen here. That looks pretty nice. What else did he do? All right, he did the tail tidy in the rear. He's got this exhaust on it. Let's see how this thing sounds. Oh my God. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh my God. It's a 4-cylinder. It's a 750cc 4-cylinder. There we go. GSX-S 750, which I don't know what that stands for. Sport, maybe? It's got adjustable front forks. It looks like, yep, adjustable front forks. Oh man. See, this bike really surprised me. I honestly didn't know that Suzuki had its own naked bike. So I rode this one time before, so I kind of know what to expect. But yeah, let's get on it, guys, and we'll talk a little bit about this bike. Man, it's so comfy. It really is comfy. All right, so one of the first things that I'm going to mention here on this bike is the modes. So it does have the different modes you can go through here. Oh, actually, all right, so this is just going through the range, mile per gallon, stuff like that. So you hit select, I think. There we go. All right, so when you hit select, see how the traction control goes on and off. So right now it's on 3, which I think 3 is the highest traction control. Then you go up to 2, 1, and then off. That's kind of cool. So I've heard, so what Mark was telling me, this is Mark's bike here. What Mark was telling me was the traction control, I guess the traction control also works as the rider mode. So it tunes it differently per traction control mode. But we're gonna start on 3 because this isn't my bike. I don't want to mess it up. So let's see, we got start, kill, horn, turn signal. We got the pass button here. Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. So that's where the brights are. So you flip it out for brights, flip it in, and then the pass. That's cool. That's pretty neat. All right, we're in a little dip here, so let's rock it out. All right. God, this thing, man, this isn't even a full exhaust either. This is just by taking the muffler off. My God. All right. Oh, let me show you guys something. All right, this is a cool feature. Really cool feature that Suzuki has here. So, all right, I'm off. I'm totally off the throttle here. I'm gonna let. All right, so let me explain. So they have a feature where you pretty much cannot stall this bike. You can't stall it. I'm just going to rest my hand here just for stability's sake, but we're going to let out. And normally on a normal bike you let out and it'll kill itself, but on this bike You can't. We're gonna try that again. I'm letting the clutch out all the way. See? Oh, you can kill it. Well, I'll have to tell Mark about that one. But I don't know, they advertise it that it's hard to kill the bike. Maybe if you're like letting it out slowly. See? I don't know. We'll see. Oh my gosh. This thing sounds so good. And I gotta remember that it doesn't have a quick shifter. This bike does not have a quick shifter on it. Oh man, for taking the muffler off this bike and just having a pipe on it, it sounds so good. Oh man. All right, you know what? Let's take a left here. Okay, let's just listen to this bike. So as we can see, we were already at 90 miles an hour before, I mean, I wasn't really on it that hard, but we were at 90 miles an hour. It did not feel anything close to 90. And that's actually one thing I want to talk about with this bike. So the first time I rode it, you know, being that it's a naked bike, oh man, it's just so smooth. Ah, it's just so smooth. All right, so we're gonna do some comparisons with bikes here, and I don't exactly know where I am right now, but we're gonna go this way. Oh my god. If I owned this bike, I would get in so much trouble. I would get in so much trouble. We were at 103 and I did not feel like we were going 103 at all. God, it sounds so good though. I love the way this thing sounds. Oh, man, this sounds good. I'm really, my second time on this bike, and I really like the way it feels. All right, so let's watch out for a little gravel here. All right, let's scrub it a little bit. All right, that's the next thing we're gonna talk about, the flickability, I guess, with this bike. I mean, it feels nice. It feels really nice. And I really wish it had a quick shifter. Alright, so man. Alright, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business with this bike. Okay, so I'm gonna say something that might upset some people, or it might ignite some good discussion here, because I want to have a discussion about 3-cylinder versus inline 4s, well, triples versus 4-cylinder bikes. Okay, well, and plus we're in traction control 3, so that might have something to do with it. See, I don't even know how much this bike weighs or anything, but I mean, it feels good. It feels good. Engine braking is really light. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of engine braking with this bike. All right, you know what? All right, so let's roll off the throttle. All right, kick it up to TC2. so there's just not a whole lot of torque, you know, on the low end with this bike. All right, let's roll. All right, we're in TC1 right now. I mean, it just feels so weird to go from the FZ09 to this bike. Man, she is a good sounding steed. Alright, we're gonna roll off. Alright, we're gonna roll off. Off. TC is off right now. I would definitely get in some trouble on this bike, boys. Okay, so the MT09, the FZ09, it has so much torque, that the only way I could, it feels like you're on a bucking bronco, you're on a bucking bull. You're on a bucking bull. You're on a rodeo, all right? You're in a rodeo. Like, that bike wants to throw you off. Like, when you start getting on that bike, it just wants to throw you off. All right, we're gonna... Man, that is so damn smooth. My God. All right, we're just gonna turn around here. It feels nice and balanced. It's, man. Man, you can, oh, God. All right, I really like this bike. I really like this bike. All right, but like I was saying, the MT FZ09 line of bike, like, it just wants to throw you off. It's like its only goal is to just throw you off the bike. Whereas, you know, that's a 3-cylinder, that's a triple. Go into the 4-cylinder. When I rode Chris's bike, he's got the Z900. When I rode Chris's bike, I kind of felt the same way. Like, the bike is so smooth. Like, I'm guessing that's the 4-cylinder, you know, the inline 4 that just makes the riding so smooth. Whereas on the FZ, like, it feels kind of like you're being vibrated. I don't know. It's kind of a weird. I don't know. It's like you're being like shaken on the FZ. Whereas Chris's bike and this bike is just so smooth, which like makes the ride more enjoyable to be on, you know, something like smooth like this. All right, we're gonna find our way back to Mark's house now, because see, there's that function. I would have killed it right there. Like, I mean, I don't want to get on his bike too hard to really test its limits. You know, I don't want to get too comfy and then just, you know, mess around a little too hard and loop it or anything like that. But yeah, it just feels like there's no low end torque. No low end torque. You know, not until you get up until you know, around the 6,000 range. Then it feels like it really starts kicking in. And that's what I was telling Chris, that's what I was telling Mark and Chris the first time I rode it, and I was like, man, it's weird because you're going over 100 miles an hour, and it does not feel like it. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, I guess that's what they mean by it has more of the super sport motor in it. Like, it's tuned a different way, I'm guessing, but it has more of the super sport motor in it where you get all your power up high in the RPMs. But I just can't get over how smooth the bike actually feels. And that's the thing, like, I didn't know that Suzuki made a naked version, you know, like a naked sport bike. And I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed, you know, that I didn't know that, because the riding position of this bike, the riding position, the feel of the bike, you know, it's a fast bike. It feels good in the corner. Man, that feels really nice. That does feel really good. But man, the riding position of this bike, it is sporty. That's the big difference from the FZ or the MT, FZ, whatever you want to call it these days. But it's a sporty feel, like Chris's bike. It actually feels like it's built around the rider, whereas on the MT, you're sitting on it like a dirt bike. That's the best way I could describe my bike, is you're sitting on it as if it's a dirt bike. So you're not really comfortable. You're not really like in the bike. You don't. It is tough. It is tough to say, but you know, since I'm used to it, and I was supposed to turn right here, so that was my bad. That has nothing to do with the bike. That is my bad. I just wasn't paying attention. God, this thing sings. And that burble. Y'all hear that? Ready? That burble though. But like I was saying, the seating position on these two bikes, between my bike and Mark's bike here, just two totally different worlds. You know, you feel like you're in the bike on Mark's bike and Chris's bike. You feel like you're planted in the bike. When I got on it back there and I sat myself back, leaned myself in, it's so comfortable. It is such a comfortable bike, such a comfortable ride. All right, now we're in sixth. We're in sixth. All right, let's see if we could just do a little pull here from about 40 and see what happens. All right, ready? 40. All right, that is a slow. All right, that is a slow getting up to even 80. But it's just a comfortable ride, man. I just can't get over it. Now, I mean, I'm gonna admit I did get my FZ09 because I wanted to stay loyal to Yamaha. You know, I'll admit that. I wanted to stay loyal to Yamaha. R3. You know, we've had Yamaha snowmobiles, you know, since I was growing up too. So, you know, Yamaha has always been a great brand for us in the Ray household. And now we got somebody up here that wants to do 40 miles an hour. Right on. This will give me some time just to unwind and talk a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to stay brand loyal. I mean, I love the look of my FZ, the FZ MT look with the headlights, the aggressive looking headlights. It just looks like a mean bike. The Z900 was my second pick, but there's just something about the Z900 that I don't know. It just really wasn't fully calling my name. Now after, and I know there was the Honda, I don't know what the Honda one was, CB, maybe the CB something or another. I don't know. But I know this, you know, Honda was another option. I had no clue Suzuki was another option. Otherwise, I may have looked into this bike. Or I know, what was it? They also have the GSX-S 1000 or something, maybe? I don't know if they have a 900 version, but I think they have the 1000. Watch out for the gravel. Let's back her down. Back her down. That burble. So smooth. And that's the one thing I got to say about Chris's bike too. When me and Chris swapped bikes the one time, I know he might argue with this, but again, I didn't really. We were kind of just riding around Kenosha, so I didn't get a good chance to really get on his bike that much. You know, and also it's not my bike. I didn't want to really hammer on it that hard. But I really feel like, as far as torque, as far as the feeling of torque, my bike just has so much more torque than Chris's bike. But then again, I might just be used to my low-end torque, where maybe Chris's torque comes in kind of like this bike. It comes in higher. But man, oh man. If you want to go fast on a bike, but feel like you're going 50, you want to get a bike like this, or maybe the Z900 also, because they're just so smooth, just smooth. That's the only way I could think of describing the comparisons between like the MT-09 and these two bikes, or Chris's bike, the Z900, and this one. I mean, I know this is a 750, but it's still got plenty of power. It's still fast, and I'm just impressed with. I'm impressed with the speed. I'm impressed with just how smooth it is. It's a great bike. It is a great bike. Yeah, I'd even argue that this would be a nice beginner bike too, because, you know, I mean, I was trying to get on it and it didn't really feel like it wanted to get away from me, you know, all that much. You know, I mean, even, you know, we're traction control off right now. I mean, I know I was just kind of rolling on the throttle there. You know, I know I was just kind of rolling on the throttle there until we got into like second. But it just feels like you're not gonna, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like you're gonna go too crazy on it. But it's fast, trust me. It is a fast bike. You'll get to triple digits before you know it. And you will not feel like you're in triple digits. That's the only way I can think to describe this bike. Oh man. We're gonna pull back in here because after this, we are going for a ride. We're gonna meet up with Chris and the guys, and you know, we're gonna go for a little ride. All right, now that's okay. So you got to find the little guy there. flip that down there. We're gonna kind of do another little walkthrough. All right, so this is what you see when you start it. It's a cool little display. I like it. Oh man, oh man. But yeah, see how, you know, it really like contours into you. You know, you can put your butt up back here for when you want to really tuck down and get into the bike, you know, for a better feel. Man, it is a good feeling bike. It is a good feeling bike. And, you know, I kind of wish I would have known about this option. Maybe I jumped into the MT-09 a little bit too quick. I don't know. I don't know. Just different options out there that you don't really think about. So I don't know, guys, if you're trying to stay brand loyal to one brand, maybe try thinking outside the box, because as much as I love my MT, the torque, the feeling of it, something like this where the riding position is actually more comfortable, you know, that inline 4 is just a pleasure to ride. You get all the power out of it. Man, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a really nice bike. So anybody in the market for a naked style of bike, keep the Suzuki in mind. And when I started it up here, let's start it up again. I didn't see a whole bunch of dicks come flying out, so I don't know, guys. These Suzuki haters, you got some explaining to do, because, you know, when I got on the throttle, I didn't feel any dildos come up out of the seat, or, you know, I didn't see any dicks come flying out the exhaust in the rearview mirror or anything. So that is, man, it sounds so nice, and it still has the cat. That's what's like really surprising. It still has the cat, and it's this loud. So I'm gonna have to ask Mark how much he paid for this. But it sounds really nice. And I'm sure when we go ride later, I'm gonna kind of fall back so we can hear how it sounds when we're riding. But that is gonna do it, guys, for our first ride. Second technically on the GSX-S 750, and I want to say that Suburban Delinquent has, what's he got, the Gixxer 750, so maybe the same motor style type. Somebody can hopefully drop it down in the comments, explain a little bit on that. I'm sure these are tuned a little bit different since it's the S version, the like naked sport version or whatever. But and you see, you know, Sub D like flying, popping wheelies everywhere. But this was a pleasure. So until next video, guys, let's do this. Until the next video, guys, get out here and ride safe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get back on the FZ09. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.